It was at this moment that Nikolai knew. He f***ed up.
Yo, you alright?
Oh. Oof. What?
Yeah! Oh my god!
Jeez.
Frosted Austin! Holy
Ooh. Overshot the flips there.
Oh, you good?
Les mains devant, les mains devant. Oh putain, il va vite. Gaffe. Oh!
Oh shit!
Oh. Oh. Oh, that wasn't good. Oh. Welcome back to the Mountain Man Medical YouTube channel. Thanks for hanging out. In today's video, we're going to talk about the differences between snowboard injuries and skiing injuries. Hang out, we're going to talk about that next. All right, so this is going to be based on a blog post that I wrote up this week, and it's going to be talking about the differences between snowboarding and skiing injuries. So if you want to know more, head over there to the mountainmanmedical.com blog, and I'll drop a link to that into the description down below so that you can check that out and read up on that if that's something that's interesting to you. Otherwise, the other thing that it's going to have is the bibliography where I found all my stats and all that kind of stuff. So if you're a nerd like that and you want to go check that out, but let's go ahead and hop into what I'm talking about here. And I'm not really sure what the main differences are, why you tend to get these injuries more often than others. So if you are an avid snowboarder and you have some insight into this, please drop that into a comment down below. But according to a study by the Finnish Surgical Society in 2014, this was a 6-year study, and it was found that the most common injuries affect the knee in skiers and the upper extremity, especially the wrist in snowboarders. The study also mentions that out of the nearly 3,000 injuries studied, knee injuries of the skiers constituted almost 1/3 of all cases, whereas snowboarders sustained more injuries to the upper limb and axial areas. Another study conducted over the course of 18 seasons found wrist injuries to be the most common injury for snowboarders and knee injuries the most common for skiers. And then I found another study that talks about among snowboarders, more wrist injuries, shoulder, soft tissue injuries, ankle injuries, concussions, and clavicle fractures were seen, while skiers had more ACL sprains, medial collateral ligament, MCL, sprains of the knee, and lateral collateral ligament, LCL sprains of the knee, lower extremity contusions, and tibia fractures. And I did a video last week of a gentleman who was going down the hill on his snowboard, and he wipes out on a tree and he breaks his fibula. So lower leg extremity fractures, contusions, and breaks all stands up to what I've seen so far. That's pretty interesting. And another thing that the study noted was that men have a slightly lower rate of injury when snowboarding. It says injured snowboarders were significantly younger, less experienced, and more likely to be female than injured skiers or snowboard control participants. So that's kind of interesting. Doesn't really mean anything in particular, but interesting. The next thing that you have to consider, of course, anytime that you're falling down a hill at a rapid rate of speed, then you're going to have to worry about head injuries and C-spine precautions. So that's something you also need to take into consideration. So what are some of the things that you might come across when you are trying to find out if your buddy has a concussion, or maybe you think you have a concussion? You're going to probably be pretty out of it, but if you've got a friend who's wiped out and you're starting to see some of the following signs, then it might be an indication. It's probably a good indication that they need to get checked out. When in doubt, just go get seen at the medic tent or whatever you've got there at Ski Patrol. Get checked out, let them do an exam on you and see if you need to go to a higher echelon of care. But these are some of the things that you should be looking for if you're trying to figure out if somebody has a concussion. 1. Clumsy, awkward movements, dazed or stunned appearance, easily confused by simple instructions, slow answering of questions, mood, behavior, or personality changes. So if they aren't acting quite right, maybe there's something going on there and you need to pay a little closer attention to them. If you see anybody that's wiped out, take a couple minutes, 5-10 minutes, sit them down, get a good idea of what's going on with them. Don't be letting them get back up and run around and do stuff. Let them take a break. Let us see kind of what's going on with them before we let them go. And sometimes these symptoms can kind of start popping up. Initially, they'll be okay. They'll hop right back up and go right back to work, but sometimes not. But if they do get up and they go about what they're doing, then you start to see some weird things starting to happen. Then maybe you should start thinking along the lines that this person might have a concussion or some sort of a brain injury. So those are some of the things that you could be looking for, but then you might also have some things that the casualty will tell you. So some of the things that they might tell you is that they have a headache, right? Head injury, that makes sense. They're feeling a little off, not quite right. They're having memory problems. That's a big one, especially if they can't remember simple things that they've known for a really long time. They've got problems with dizziness. They're unbalanced, and they're reporting of blurred or double vision. You got a head that feels fuzzy or groggy, nausea or vomiting. That's a pretty clear sign. Always be trying to pay attention for that. If you see somebody that's fallen down and they start throwing up and complaining of nausea, good chance that they've got a concussion or some sort of traumatic brain injury. And then if they have sensitivity to light and noise, kind of similar like you might have with a migraine or something like that. So if you see any of those things or the casualty tells you any of those things, then you want to make sure that they're getting checked out at the medic tent, or at the very least get Ski Patrol up there to see how they're doing. Better to be safe than sorry. Get someone there with a different perspective, someone that sees this stuff all the time, like Ski Patrol. They're going to know what's going on and whether or not this is a serious situation. So if you're overreacting and it's not that big of a deal, they'll come check them out, and you can have the peace of mind to know that they have been looked at by a professional. But when in doubt, just get seen at the ER. Go and get checked out. It's not worth your life. It's better to go and get that checked out and make sure that they're actually doing okay. Oh, I think you messed up the spin. Ooh. Oh my God. What was his plan? Look at this guy. All right, so he makes his first jump. Great. Okay. Yeah, he clears that one little rock pile, and then what was his plan after that? Let's watch that again. He makes that, and then what? Oh my God. Jeez. I don't get it. Do not get it.
Holy. This is gonna be fucked.
I don't think they're doing that right. Oh.
I just fell off that, dude. Yeah. I landed on my back.
Thank you. My head hurts a little and my ribs from the back. I think I'm good.
You got to wear your helmet. Pretty important. Helmet's important. One study I was looking at was saying that wearing a helmet reduces your risk of head injury by 60%. So that's pretty important. Also, we need to make sure that we're considering C-spine precautions. With any head injury, you have a risk that they might have fractured their neck. So wearing your helmet, of course, that's a pretty big deal. It seems like that's the norm. I don't think I ever see anybody out on the slopes anymore without like a decent helmet. So you're probably going to be wearing your helmet, but making sure that you do, of course, that's going to be really important. Making sure that you've got a good quality helmet and not some cheap knockoff is going to be important. And then also making sure that you're inspecting that helmet on the regular for any cracks or any problems, degradation in the materials, so that it's going to protect your head when you impact a tree doing, 40 miles an hour. You kind of want it to do what it's supposed to. So making sure it's completely intact and able to protect your head, essential. Definitely may make that happen. The setup of this is so long, I'm getting nervous. Jeez, he just slipped.
He got up. Oh my. You okay?
Good dollars. Oh. Right into that post. Oh, this is going to be good.
Oh my God.
Oh, they didn't approach that with the confidence.
How is he okay?
Oh!
Hızlı gel, gel, koş, koş. Düşüş, o düşüş.
Ready? Yep. Shit, let me stand up, maybe I can...
All right, guys, that's all I got for you. Thanks for hanging out and checking out these videos on the differences between ski and snowboarding injuries and some of the things to look for if you're trying to spot a concussion. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to drop them in a comment down below. Head over to the mountainmanmedical.com website and check out our Yellowstone and track or trauma kits and be ready for whatever the mountain throws at you. I'll catch you guys in the next one.